Hey team, how we doing? Welcome to today's episode of the Ladies Best Life podcast. I first of all would love to ask you if you're okay to give us a rating here on whatever it is that you're using, whether it be Apple or Spotify. Please give us a rating. This always helps us to know whether what we're doing is good work. And if you have any feedback, please let us know as well. So today I'm going to go a little bit deep with you. For some reason, I have this ability to communicate with the podcast in a way that's very honest. And I think it's because I know that you're going to be listening as you're maybe driving your car, maybe as you're out walking the dog. And I feel like today is a good day to do this. So I have been speaking to my community, the coaching club, about transitions that have been going on with me. And I haven't announced this publicly to anybody, so it actually feels a little bit strange saying it. I've spoken to a lot of people, my coaches, my mentors, friends, close connections, and I have now made a lot of sense with it. And I think this is what happens a lot when you're going through the journey of change. Is it's quite good to spend some time speaking to people that you trust about where you're currently at, almost make sense of it yourself. And then when you feel ready, bring it to the rest of the world if you feel like that is going to be a good thing for you to do. Obviously, with the job that I do, it is really important to be honest and vulnerable and to share my journey. And the thing is, I would never share a journey with you when it's still a deep wound or it's something that doesn't really, like, I'm not ready to talk about it yet. And that's why we're here, 4 to 6 weeks later, able to now talk about it. Don't forget as well, the journey that I go on is quite a rapid journey of growth. This is because I'm in environments where growth is the key focus. And also I'm committed to that. Like, I really enjoy developing myself. I really enjoy questioning myself. It's not what everybody likes to do. So please don't feel like you drop into any level of comparison with me at all, because we're all different, right? And that's something I've definitely noticed over this past couple of years, is that my commitment and my enjoyment for growth is not unique, but it's definitely not the norm. And I quite like that. So you would have probably heard me say over the last couple of years, it depends where you've listened to me, whether you've listened to me on Facebook, whether you've listened to me on just this podcast, or wherever it could potentially be. But you will have heard me talking about the fact that I've said that I've never wanted children. This is a belief that I thought I had said my entire life. And I'd got this story in my head about, no, I don't want children. I've never wanted children. I'm not maternal. And it actually took for a complete stranger to come into my life. I'll be honest with you, it's a date. For someone to come up to me and say, this whole demeanor of not wanting children, bear in mind, this was date number 1, guys, okay? This whole demeanor, this whole boss bitch and, brick wall up around you isn't you. And I was like, who do you think you are? Like, you don't know me. Like, what? Tell me more. And we started exploring together, date number 1, started exploring, what he meant by that and why he said that and what, like, where does this come from? Like, how does he know that? Like, he doesn't know me. And it took for that conversation, and I never take what people say as gospel, right? Not even a mentor. I always take it away. I question it. I seek to understand and see whether it actually suits me as a human, maybe do some research on it. So I did that. I went away after that initial chat. I wasn't triggered. I was initially a bit like taken aback by it, but I wasn't triggered. I was like, oh, okay, let's explore this. And got chatting to a few friends, and someone said to me, well, yeah, Sash, like years ago, you and your, I think my second serious boyfriend, wanted a whole football team. Because he was a twin, and he was like, yeah, and I actually spoke to him about it, and he was like, yeah, that is the case. And I've reflected back, and at some point throughout my life, I have a mechanism when I get scared or stressed or upset, and this isn't in every scenario. So if we go back to this specific scenario, so as communication started to break down potentially in my previous relationship, as I went into a mentorship that was very much about doing and masculine energy and success, and like building a business, I let go of the things that were important to me. And I think what happened is I built a brick wall up around me. And I can see that now. I can see as a method of protection, I spent the last 2 years going, I don't want children. I don't need a future husband. I'm going to buy a house of my own. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And this is what happens with me. I think it's happened a couple of times when shit's hitting the fan, when things are going on personally, where I'm like, okay, well, clearly this isn't the right situation for me to be in. So I'm just going to build this. I'm going to put a mask on, basically. Now, you may or may not do this. You may sabotage things in other ways. You may not at all. You may be able to identify with this and go, actually, yeah, like when I'm upset or when, shit's going on, it could be a loved one's passed away or whatever, I build a hard exterior. And to be fair, like I have spent a lot of this past couple of months as I've realized this, going, what on earth, like how have I gotten to this point, like questioning it and going, oh my god, like is that embarrassing? Is it actually like okay that I've changed my mind here? But of course it is, guys. I say it to you all the time, even if it's as serious as saying I don't want children and never have, to now going, actually I think I do. And if I'm brutally honest with you today, it's just fear. I'm just scared because I think I've shared with you before on this podcast about my childhood and how my dad got sent to prison when I was 4. Obviously, look at how a 4-year-old would internalize that. It's obviously different for different people, but I know how I internalized it was, I'm broken. Like I'm not enough for this man to stay in my life. Therefore, I've got to look after me. I need to make sure I'm looking after me. Connection is not good because connection ends up in getting hurt. And that's where it came from for me. And now I can see that. I can also see that potentially when things get serious with somebody, maybe the fear comes up then. And that's why I think, oh my God, like, no, I don't even want children. What is this? Get me out. But it's a really good realization. And this is why I'm sharing it. Like I'm obviously still working through some parts of it. I'm now able to talk about it with a bit more clarity. It will be a journey of constant kind of evolution and constantly understanding what's going on. And I really enjoy that. It would scare a lot of people. I know it certainly did with me. I felt super foggy, but I'm actually at a point now where I can say that I currently think I do want children. I can currently say I am dead excited to the one day when I meet a partner who I can spend many years with and we understand each other and work as a team. And I still want to do great things on this planet. I still want to help women like I've never helped them before. Impact is my main key priority. How can I help women to live life on their terms more? Not only from the dieting side of things, fat loss, get ripped, get fit, get strong, but also from the standpoint of being able to ask themselves questions like I'm asking myself now. Being able to explore what they actually want from life, and feeling the way that they want to feel. Making sure that they spend time on things that matters to them most, because time is such a precious commodity. So that's where I'm at. And I thought it would be interesting to share with you, and basically just a massively vulnerable share, and in the hope that you realize that I'm human too. Because I think sometimes people look at me and I'm tenacious, I go get it, I run a business, I've got great friends, I hold up a good social life, I go on multiple holidays, and sometimes I think people can go, oh, it's all right for you, you've got all your ducks in a row, but actually, if you look at my life, the odds have been, it's been a challenge, and I actually think that's one of the main reasons why I am the way I am. Dad got sent to prison when I was 4. Mum was 38 when she had me. All of my other friends were like late 20, like all their mums were much younger. Single parent childhood, so no real role model in regards to males. And then also when the one male did come into my life, even though we spent many years with him, he obviously passed away in 2018. So that was a proper grieving process. Uncle, cousin, family, friends dying of cancer. And I think that's why I am molded the way I am, because I've had to keep going. I've had to challenge myself in regards to get the fuck up, go do the work, speak your truths, be honest, be vulnerable. But remember, this is life. Life is full of uncertainties. Life is full of challenges and dynamics that you would never have expected. You said to me, November next year, you're going to change your mind next year, Sash, and you're going to say, actually, I think I do want children at some point in my life. I'd be like, get fucked, no way. But again, it's okay to change your mind. And my mental performance coach actually reminded me, there's a guy called Aubrey Marcus, very well known, super popular, famous. He wrote a book about 8 years ago, I think it was, on polyamory and how polyamorous relationships is the way forwards. He was literally like dead set on it. I think it did like really well, like loads of reach, loads of people bought this book. He's now in a monogamous relationship and he's like, I eat my words. I've changed my mind. And when Kieran, my mental performance coach, said that to me, I was like, oh yeah, actually it's okay. Even if you just change your mind about what sandwich you're eating or whether the fact you want children or not, it's okay to change your mind. It's absolutely, and I might change my mind again, but currently I feel like I've taken the protection mask off. This protection of, look after yourself, because things have been tricky over this past year, as I've experienced and kind of shared with you guys here on the podcast. And now I'm softening, and it's such a nice place to be. And if you're like me, if you're a strong woman, independent, you like to get shit done, just keep an eye open. Hold a mirror up to yourself every day. What are you prioritizing every day? Are you constantly doing and like pushing yourself and all of those things? Or are you slowing down at all and checking in with yourself and making deep, meaningful conversations and connections with people that you genuinely love? Are you being present with your children? Are you taking time to watch the birds a couple of times a week? It doesn't need to be every fucking minute of the day. You can still get shit done, but you can do it from a slightly different place. So there is my vulnerable share. If it's triggered anything in you, or if you want to have a chat about anything, please know that my inbox is open, guys. I'm actually flying to Cape Verde to work from there on Wednesday for 2 weeks. And obviously holiday at the same time, but just a bit of sunshine. And I love changing my environment to boost my productivity and also have some downtime as well, which will be lush. So if you want to have a call, if you want to pop me a message on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, please do feel free to do so. And I hope this has helped you to realize, one, it's okay to change your mind. And two, there's no shame in that. There is no shame in that at all. Have an incredible rest of your day. And yeah, whatever you're doing, just enjoy every single moment if you possibly can. Take it easy, guys. Take care.